It's a good afternoon from the Village Green on the University of New South Wales campus as UNSW take on St George FC in round 19 of NPL New South Wales men's first grade. Despite going down away to the SD Raiders last week, UNSW is a different proposition at home. They are undefeated in their 9 games here in 2026. St George FC come to town off the back of 12 straight losses, so they'll be desperate for a result to help keep them out of the relegation zone. I'm Tony Solano. It's great to have your company live on the NPL New South Wales YouTube channel. Referee this afternoon is Nathan Shakespeare. His assistants Thomas Gelatley and Joshua Isa. The fourth official is Jackson Tippett. Nice crowd in. Good conditions for football this afternoon. A bit of a later start than what we're usually used to. Not too much wind to speak of. Addressing the formalities. It's been some season for both these sides. UNSW took a while to get going, but since then, their recent run of home form finds them just outside the top 6. Whereas St George FC, unbeaten in their first 6 games, won 5 of their first 6. And it's been 12 straight losses, which sees them 1 point above Blacktown in the relegation positions. You can see Captain Patrick O'Shea for St George FC. And also Liam Wood in the middle with the coin toss. Good start will be vital for both these teams. Looking to get back in the winner's circle. UNSW before last week were on a 3-game winning streak. Took the scalps of Sydney United 58s and Rockdale as part of that, along with Wollongong too. So very impressive here at the Village Green. We're 19 rounds in, 11 rounds remaining. We're turning for home. Gonna make a move. Gonna get yourself into the finals positions. Got to start winning. July. University of New South Wales in the black and yellow. St George FC in the red, white and green socks. The team's got Hungarian roots. Started at St George Budapest all the way back in 1957. Awaiting the whistle of referee Nathan Shakespeare. Sure, plenty of Shakespeare written and heard around the halls here at the university. St George FC kick us off here in Kensington. Both teams be looking for a good start. Down the touchline, Woods really good and wins the first free kick of the day. Does Evan Souris. Those two teams, for St George FC, Nicholas Soras in goals. Rocco Smith, Rafael Costa and Nicholas Carragero start alongside Patrick O'Shea, Justin Boone and Evan Souras. But it's UNSW. Nice lead-up work early. Woods crosses the ball in. Opportunity first up. Vinci couldn't put it away. Corner to come for UNSW, the first one of the match. Casella, Cito, Rodic and Wright all starting for St George FC. For the home side, Connor Quilligan stepping up to take the corner. Second minute of this game, UNSW looking to get the best of starts. Looping towards the back post, a header just wide from Lopez. The goal kick. The UNSW look quite dangerous in attack when they head forward. Their side today, Tristan Prendergast in goals. Timothy Walfield, Emilio Vinci, who we've already heard about. Liam Wood and Grant Lynch starting. Tassettin Kamsuz, Kevin Lopez, Sean Woods and Lachlan Campbell starting, as is Chiden Harb and Connor Quilligan. Benches for both sides. Jack Fulton, Cassius Flavel is the backup goalkeeper. Kaika Mikura, Oliver Pufflets Anthony Bartovic, Alex Malfara and Jill Duffy. Their coach is Gabriel Knowles. So George FC, their first look. And the pass just going directly to the goalkeeper. Safekeeping for Prendergast, his first assignment today. The bench for St George FC, Harrison Farrow, Vedran Janjetovic, the backup goalkeeper. Chris McStay, he'll be the trump card for St George FC later on. Ali Muzaffar, Kota Toyuku, and Jaden Dorevsky. Tanakorn Ruksak is also on the bench. They are coached by Brian Bonner-Brown. We mentioned it's been 12 straight losses for St George FC as Sito wins a free kick. Claim the scalp of their coach, Rafael Marie, who departed in May. Long ball forward, safekeeping for Prendergast. Lynch, place forward, looking for Woods. He's been on the ball constantly so far. Win his team a throw. Wood, now Lachlan Campbell, former Blacktown City FC player. He and Grant Lynch came over with the promotion of UNSW into the top flight. Been impressive thus far, getting good results, of course, particularly here. 5 wins so far, 4 draws. 1 win away, that win against Sydney FC early in the season. Harb was hunting that ball down. Now in transition, it's St George FC's turn. Trying to get in front, Rafael Costa. And number 38, the youngster, raw, a lot of ability. As are a number of these players. Comes with his back turned, finds Campbell. Now there's space in midfield. Comes nice diagonal ball. Looking forward, drops under Woods. Lopez, first time shots. And it's just wide. Lopez unable to find the target with the header. And now the long range shot, but he does look dangerous. A threat coming forward from midfield. Five minutes gone here at the Village Green. No score between UNSW FC and St George FC. Both teams would love the 3 points. UNSW wanting to keep pressure on that top 6. They currently sit in 10th on 22. Lost last week against the SD Raiders, set them back. Earlier this round, the SD Raiders had a draw in a makeup game against Sydney Olympic, 1-1. And our match of the round yesterday, Manly United won, Sydney United 58-1. And Marconi also held to a scoreless draw against Sydney FC. The other game live at 3 p.m. Western Sydney Wanderers and St George City. To the other side of St George. Local rivals for this St George FC club. We'll get live scores from you as that continues. Woods wins the ball. UNSW looking to set up camp in the attacking half. Ball intercepted, that's good anticipation. Casella bends the ball towards the middle. Costa, marked by the experienced Lynch, won't give him an inch. Grant Lynch, been a good defender for a number of years in the NPL. Won trophies with Blacktown City. Nice move early. Woods, one-on-one with O'Shea. Ball inside for Harb. He's dangerous from this position. Jayden Harb. Got to watch him. But in transition, St George FC through Costa. Want to be making ground. Jayden Harb, the striker of the month for the month of May. Very elite company, some really good strikers in and around the competition. You look at the likes of Damien Sekenis leading the line for Marconi. Arpia has a couple of good ones as well. Blacktown City with Travis Major. And of course Moody Najjar with Rockdale. So holding himself well. Here he is, Harb. Couldn't quite get the ball to his intended targets. Pressure from Lopez. His press has been important so far. Football fever for sweeping the country and the world. The start of the World Cup on Friday morning. Host team Mexico getting a win over South Africa. South Korea also emerging victorious against Czechia. A draw between Canada and Bosnia-Herzegovina. And early this morning, the USA too good for Paraguay, 4-1. Australia, of course, in action tomorrow afternoon, 2 p.m. Lynch, nice ball in. Finds it back at his feet once more. Woods, been a ball magnet so far, Sean Woods. O'Shea clears that delivery away. Smith under pressure, and he turns the ball over. Lopez, space and time for Woods, drives it low. Safely into the arms of Nicolas Soras. Very experienced goalkeeping group for St George FC. Nicolas Soras in goals today, preferred to Vedran Janjetovic. Prendergast comes out and clears for safety. Janjetovic, 163 appearances in the A-League, 100 for Sydney FC, 63 for the Wanderers. Jaden Cito plays Casella, trying to break down his UNSW defence. A dangerous ball. Woods was looking to swoop. Casella offside according to the assistant referee. Just got in front, the striker. Ian Caden Wright made their 50th appearance for St George FC recently. Jaden Cito, nice control. Justin Poon under pressure. He's dispossessed by Lynch. UNSW want to release and go quickly. Comes Suz. Pass just out of the clutches of Wallfield. The corresponding fixture earlier this year in round 4. It was St George FC 2-0 winners over UNSW. Timothy Wallfield sent off in that game. The red card stubs up against Kimishima. Both players won't forget that. Caden Wright scoring a crucial goal. Harb tries from distance and always bending away. Seen some great goals this year where players have spotted the goalkeeper off guard. Cito, his long ball blocked. Real chess match so far here at the Village Green. No score between UNSW FC and St George FC. I'm Tony Salerno. Hope you're enjoying our Saturday afternoon coverage of NPL New South Wales men's ones. Free kick for St George FC, and comes Soers. He's got to keep his head. Pushing with Rocco Smith. The referee wants a word. Referee Nathan Shakespeare calling both players out. Number 8 for both sides being told to clean it up. Comes Soers and Soerats. 2 games live right now over at Blacktown Football Park. Wanderers nil, St George City nil. The UNSW women will be at Wanderers Football Park tomorrow. 5 p.m. they'll take on the Western Sydney Wanderers, undefeated. The UNSW women, 11 wins, 3 draws. Their defender, Poppy Channing, having an outstanding season. She was Defender of the Month for the month of May. So very exciting to watch both of these teams. We're at the Village Green. But it's the men today, a big job to do. One of 5 big games in NPL New South Wales men's first grade today. Later this afternoon, Northwest Sydney Spirit host Sydney Olympic. Blacktown take on Sutherland. That's at Seymour Shore. Now St George FC, side on goal, drilling it across. Beat away by Wood momentarily. Campbell almost couldn't deal with that one. Scored an own goal the last time these 2 teams played. Wollongong and Apia complete the action today. Header on targets. Pushed away by Prendergast. Got some help from the woodwork as well. They recycle and go again, St George FC. Casella, dangerous into the box. And headed away by Campbell. Corner. This is looking much more adventurous from St George FC. Going to break their drought. 12 straight losses. They'd love an early goal to set them on their way. Corner near post. Knocked away. Will go again through Poon. Delivers into the middle. Pinball in the box. And it's Rocco Smith who delivers the blow and gets the goal for St George FC. We said they needed a good start, and they've got one here. The set piece, UNSW didn't deal with it well, and Rocco Smith popped up and put it away. An early goal for the visitors. Just what the doctor ordered. Rocco Smith, former Apia player, spent time in Germany before coming to the club middle of last year. Nice use of the body from Warfield. Squares it up. Comes Soers just outside the box. Thought about shooting, then changed his delivery. Soers. That battle, no one's going to give an inch. Campbell. Costa wanted possession, but the defender was strong. Nice turn from Woods. Wanted to play Warfield. Just a heavy touch. And Pat O'Shea makes sure of it. Cito fires over the head of Costa. Bounces all the way through and ends up out again. So it's tight at the bottom. We mentioned St George FC a point above Blacktown City in 14th position. 15 and 16, of course 16 automatically relegated, which is looking like Sydney Olympic at the moment. Proud club. Would love to stay up in first grade. And Blacktown City, been a good club for so long in first grade. Casella, can he keep it in? Not quite. A throw to come for University. George FC win the ball in midfield. They've been good in this department early. Soris wanted Casella to make a run. Cito. Spotted he and another Rocco Smith, the goal scorer. So George FC will play from in front. Still plenty of time for the home side. Harb trying to disguise the pass. Woods, the numbers game too strong for him. They win it back in midfield. Lachlan Campbell on the right of that back three. O'Shea intercepts. And St George FC go again. Right. Put on a platter for Casella. Looking around. Squares it up for Wright again. Calogero. Plays Casella in the middle. Just a heavy touch from the forward. And UNSW negotiate that one well enough. Campbell's long ball blocked as well from Smith. So interim coach Brian Brown, who was technical director for St George FC before he took the role, wants his team to try and suffocate those with the ball for UNSW, be tight to the contest. And they've done that so far. Wood. Goes back to Prendergast. Skims off the head of Woods. Calogero. Long ball, wanted Justin Poon. But out of play it goes. 20 minutes gone here at the Village Green. It's the visitors, St George FC, with the first goal of the game, courtesy of Rocco Smith. That home winning streak under threat, but still plenty of time to go. Smith, Costa. Strong challenge from Vinci that time. Along the touchline, Lopez. Space wide if they can get it there, UNSW. Well field. And Woods couldn't quite keep it in, but that was good anticipation from the striker. Through the legs of Costa. Wood wins the free kick. Smith claiming nothing to see here, sir. Jordan Harp asked for a handball, waved away by referee Shakespeare. Both teams have now settled in, assessing the state of play. Lynch ventures forward, dangerous when he goes there. Wanted to play Lopez. Smith holding it up. UNSW player down. Referee calls on the support staff. And a break and play for both sides. Appreciate that. Both coaches they get instructions to their players. Of course, Coach Gabriel Knowles giving Kassetin Kamsuz some advice. Gabriel Knowles, of course, joined UNSW as a player and then an assistant, taking on the role. League One Manager of the Year last year, as UNSW got automatic promotion into first grade in season 2026. Finished 1 point above the SD Raiders, who ended up in first grade anyway after their playoff victory. On 23 minutes, George FC 1, UNSW FC 0. UNSW with more of the possession thus far. But St George FC been a little bit more clinical when they've gone forward. A lot of build-up from UNSW. Like to see more shots, if possible, on targets. Here comes an opportunity. Harb controls it. Tries to find the near post. But a great save from Soras. Needed to be good. And kept out the hot striker. Wallfield. Kamsuz. Woods. Harb. Woods again. Very dangerous ball. Shot from Vinci. And again, safekeeping. So UNSW starting to string some really nice passes together. Campbell. They're in again, UNSW. Harb wanted to go from range. Costa in transition. Looking up, spotting the red jumpers. Switch was looking for Boone. Grant Lynch marshalling back there, ensuring UNSW was up to the task. Harb attracts numbers when he gets the ball at his feet. Jyden Harb, under pressure, not his best efforts. Right, wanted to play Costa. Warfield. Kamsuz. So pivotal and he's back to goal. Campbell over halfway. Tried to release Warfield. Sliding in Campbell, that was dangerous. The referee calls a free kick. And some push and shove from both players. Poorly timed challenge. Free kick, referee dipping into his pocket and says yellow card for Lachlan Campbell. Frustration from the defender on 26 minutes. So has to make sure he's very clean for the next hour. Patrick O'Shea, the former Sutherland Shark. Sutherland doing well this year. Up in the top 6 at the moment. Nudges ahead of Smith. Soudis comes to find it. Fires! A rocket from Evan Soudis. Unstoppable. St George FC, their second goal, and they may not score a better one this season. Evan Sortis won the second ball, looked up, he was the best option, and he got the top bins he wanted. So they haven't won for 12 games, and there's still a long way to go for St George FC, but they've really set the table for themselves here. So what does this do to UNSW? Here's Casella. Suz wins out on that occasion. Vinci trying to craft something for University. Nodded on from Lopez off the post and cleared away by Cito. He's getting closer and closer. Kevin Lopez finds the woodwork that time. Soras down in goals, being treated the goalkeeper. Spent a lot of time out. He's won a championship with Sydney Olympic. He's also spent time at Sydney FC and Central Coast Mariners Academy. Soras celebrates a birthday on Monday, so he'd love to finish this game with a win. Gift wrapped him a nice presents on Monday. All field. Comes Soers, delivers into the box. Falls for Quilligan. Former St George FC player alongside Alex Malfara, who we may see later today. Spent time in the south. Soris picks out Casella. Now Rocco Smith. Casella teething town on goal. Bent to the back post. Header from Poon, still there for Wrights. But a nice block to keep out St George FC. A corner to come. Suz on the ground for UNSW. I know a lot of the fans for St George FC will be saying, where's this been the last 3 months? Last win for St George FC all the way back in round 6 against Sydney Olympic. They won 2-0. That was back on the 14th of March. It's now the 13th of June. A long time between drinks. Kamsuz gets back into position. Harb makes his way into the box. It'll be Jaden Casella, left-footed in-swinger. See if he can put it on the head of one of his teammates. Delivers near post. Win the ball back, Casella. Now deliver back in. Up high went Cito. Went behind everybody. Caden Wright. Calagero tried to place it into the box. Floats it. But easy pickings for Tristan Prendergast. George FC been second to every ball today. Caden Wright. Suris will back himself again. Heading towards goal. Finds his mate Casella. And Woods had to knock it away for the moment. And Malfara making his way onto the field, a substitution. Zito throws. Free kick one by UNSW. 2-0. 32 minutes gone. Still plenty of time to play. The home side will have to work their way back into this one. Good crowd in today on a Saturday afternoon. Haven't had much to cheer about just yet. Woods finds Harb. That was a good shot too, but saved by Soras. He's just still giant, and Harb is about to explode. Campbell. Throw one for St George FC. Like to set in Kumsels. The man to wake my Alex Malfara. Right. Plays Pawn and just a little bit too high for the Maestro.
Well, that's because
Prendergast. Loops one for Lopez. Woods, nice touch. Hard flag stays down, has sight on goal, but good defending by O'Shea. The threat's not over, and now it is through Wright. Transition, here comes St George FC. Justin Bourne plays up the line, looking for Costa. Sliding in. Good tackle from Wood. It'll be a throw for St George FC. Calogero. Short throw. Then knocks it into the box. Get it away by Lynch. Woods. Lopez chasing this ball. Wright. Finds Casella between the lines, but he's offside. Prendergast wanted to go quickly. Referee Shakespeare says, take your time with that one. 10 minutes of normal time remaining in the first half. St George FC, 2-0. Goal early for Rocco Smith, and that was doubled by a banger from Evan Soris. Woods. Playing Vinci wide. Ball inside. Harb in traffic. O'Shea, resolute defending. That shot always rising. Around the grounds. The stroke of half-time. Wanderers 0. St George City 0. Right here, as we said, 37 minutes gone. St George Saints 2. UNSW FC 0. Spirit taking on Olympic a little bit later as a Sutherland and Blacktown, followed by top 4 clash between the Wollongong Wolves and RPL Leichhardt FC. 5 big games, NPL New South Wales first grade. Tomorrow, it's Rockdale taking on the SD Raiders. That was originally going to be at 3 p.m, but that's been pushed back to 4:30. all clubs ensuring Australians get the chance to watch the Socceroos. They'll take on Turkey at the World Cup from 2 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. Harb cutting inside. Lopez. Now Warfield. Lays it along the carpet. Woods couldn't quite put it away. The defence today of St George FC has been one of the best features. Been very good down back. Malfara. Wood. Hatter couldn't quite find Warfield. Cito, last year's players player for St George FC. I enjoyed what he did last year and he's doing good things again in season 2025. And 2026 for that matter too. Tristan Prendergast goes long. Lynch. Juan Vinci. Knocked down by Calagero. It'll be a throw. UNSW trying to break that door down. You feel like if they get one, they may be able to get another in quick time. Close efforts from Lopez, who hit the woodwork. Harb's had some good looks too. Here he is, Jyden Harb. Plays Lopez. Tries to shoot across the keeper, but another good save from Nicolas Soras. Put that down as number 3. He's had to make some clutch efforts, and the shot stopper has done it. Malfara, too high for Warfield. Don't seem to be finding their groove today, UNSW. They've come up against a hot St George FC team, desperate to get out of that relegation battle. It's not where you want to be. You want to be playing first grade football. Costa getting in front. Woods was shielding it. Vinci looking to find the pass. Malfara. Now Lachlan Campbell. Warfield. Nice footwork. Malfara in that holding midfield role alongside Connor Quilligan. There was the Seton Kamsuz in the first half. He succumbed to injury midway through. Harb. Warfield chips it to the back post. Push in the back, free kick. Taking their time as we enter the last 5 minutes of the first half. Commanding lead for St George FC, but you know what they say about 2-0 leads at half-time. It's the worst lead to have. Woods released. A nice defending from Pat O'Shea. We mentioned undefeated this year at home, UNSW. 5 wins, 4 draws. We're approaching half-time and they're down 2-0, which isn't a good position to be in, but Coach Gabriel Knowles, usually very wise with his words. I'm sure he'll be able to tell them to clean up some stuff like that. Casella. Sordas. And a down. Woods. Boone. Advantage played. Right. Wanted to head forward. Boone's going to stay down. It was a tough challenge. Wood puts it on the roof of the grandstand. And now a yellow card after the events for Sean Woods. That's 2 players in the book now, 1 for each side. Lachlan Campbell, UNSW, apologies, 2 for UNSW. Lachlan Campbell and also Sean Woods. First goal scorer of the game, Rocco Smith. Holding the ball up. Looked very dangerous in attack today. Have St George, Smith, right. The passes are just sticking. Soris. Calogero. Releases Poon wide, manages to stay in. Calogero makes himself an option. Poon drives it towards the box. And trickles away from everyone. Throw for St George FC. Tell you what, if they can get a goal in this last minutes, plus injury time, be a big mounted decline in the second half for the home side. Pivotal moment in this game. Casella. Now collision between Malfara and slow to get to his feet, Cito. Jaden Cito will be asked to throw. Combines with Casella. Free kick from UNSW. Sean Woods wins the header. Lopez appealing for a free kick. And it might be more than that. The referee coming over. Wasn't the last man, which is what UNSW is appealing for. So an opportunity here for UNSW right before half-time. They can get a goal here. That will just invite them in and give them something to work with heading into the second half. Jyden Harb. Will he shoot? Go direct. Or will he put it on the head of one of his attackers? Floats it to the back post. But up high goes Sordas. Picture perfect in goals. The first 45. Rolls out as we enter injury time. Calogero. Poon. Flicks it on looking for Smith, but he was offside anyway. The clock ticks down towards half-time. Woods tries to play Jyden Harb. It's a bit too strong for him. Last touch off St George FC. So an opportunity now, a set piece, a corner right on the stroke of half-time. One of the last kicks of the first half. Quilligan to tee it up. Headed away by St George FC momentarily. Still a threat though. Back into the middle. Glanced by Lynch. And Lopez had a chance. But fades away. And there is the halftime whistle here at the Village Green. Not going according to script for the home side. At the break, St George FC 2 lead UNSW FC 0. 2 goals, first in the 15th minute to Rocco Smith. And then an absolute belter from Evan Suris on 27 minutes. Means the visitors have the advantage. The home side's streak at home very under threat. Join us back in about 10 minutes time for all the second half action here at the Village Green. At the break, St George FC 2, UNSW FC 0.
Headley has come over to the right flank to help out. Tay Headley skips around a defender, went to ground rather slowly. Not enough to convince the referee there was a foul. Lancaster, a bending ball and a header in.
An ex-Western Sydney Wanderer, Kyle Chimenti. It's Allen against Chimenti. And he slots it into the bottom corner and gives Sydney United the lead as they look. I may have said Rose, doing my best. There's no board here, so I'm having to do the count. Zanic, he's it out wide to Jennings. He's got Rule making the overlapping run. He goes to him. It's Carlos de Oliveira! Sydney United double their lead.
His last goal, in fact, in that 1-0 victory for the Raiders. Prendergast is under pressure. It's Knezovic! He does have Goal number 3 of the season. We were just speaking about it. Scoring that late equaliser in that 1-1 draw at the Village Green. As Prendergast has been caught out off his line. Oh my word, what a strike!
And he finds Kuda. Kuda back again for Kaspers. Lovely overlapping run. O'Driscoll holding it up down there in the corner. Kaspers with Kuda. Oh, he's taken a heavy challenge there, Michael Kuda. Down he goes. Free kick taken quickly. Referee says play on. Gonzalez steps inside, drives it in, and he's opened the scoring. Oscar Gonzalez from the quickly taken free kick there. Nicely. Just 1-0 for Appy Leichhardt. And here's Ortiz. Ortiz, can he get a touch inside the box? Ortiz is there. Oh, what a finish from Presley Ortiz. Absolutely fantastic.
Hollingdale's efforts up and over the wall! Fantastic effort from Riley Hollingdale. St. George can't buy a goal at the moment. This corner swung in. Rising header, and there it is! The much-needed goal for St. George. Battled Blacktown City. As here with Shueki. Not clear. Shueki finds the bottom corner.
Bring them any further towards goal. Foti. Oh, this is the moment. Pedersen! Beautifully timed ball. And Jon Pedersen. Another effort long. Clarkson is up ahead of Tap. There were no blue shirts in the picture. A second bite. And the ball is kept alive by Tap. Another net win for St George City. It can't be long now. And a volley it through Forrest, and the big at the equaliser. Unbelievable.
Elliott finds Constable. He might try here. Flicks the ball up for McCarthy. Kept out the first time, but not the second. Right on the stroke of half-time. Mitch Malia looking to whip it in. Header from Grimaldi. Can't be denied that time, Travis Major. They kept away the initial header. Constable. McCarthy, originally deflected. Scortadis, smart ball! And Chalakan buries it. And does he maybe?
Cocktail's deep in form. First Ješić with a chance, and Marko Ješić puts it away. It was a delightful pass from
players have made their way back out for the second half here at the Village Green. At halftime, it is St George FC 2, UNSW FC 0. The home side, UNSW, undefeated here at the Village Green in season 2026. But that home record is under threat. They trail 2-0 at halftime. But as they say, a 2-0 halftime lead is never as secure as it sounds. St George FC, 12 losses in a row heading into this game. Can they finally break the duck? And with it, be able to starve off relegation and stay out of those relegation spots. 45 minutes and a little bit more will decide the fates of both these sides. It'll be University to kick us off into the second half. Referee Nathan Shakespeare had a busy first half. 2 yellow cards distributed. And there is the whistle. 2-0. Work to do for the home side. And it starts here. Prendergast goes long looking for Woods. And St George FC clear away. 2 goals, Rocco Smith early in the 15th minute. And just before the half-hour mark, Evan Souris, the number 8 for St George FC, with a cracker outside the box. Finds the top corner and gave his team a 2-0 advantage. UNSW has to score next. So important. They're still in the game, but barely holding on. Lynch. Justin Poon. Finds Rocco Smith, but Lynch wins out of the contest. Drives the ball into the middle, looking for Woods. And a goal kick is the call. You can already see in this second half, St George FC seeing a little bit deeper. Happy to get UNSW to run their shape at them, try and keep them at bay. They may think 2-0 at the moment is just enough, but still plenty of game to go. Sawdust. Wood gets nice and high. Wood in the middle of that back three. UNSW trying to go around St George FC. Sito taking on Malfara. Advantage played for UNSW. Players slipping and sliding everywhere. But it's St George FC in transition where they've liked it in the first half. And a free kick won by the visitors. Rocco Smith goes back onto his haunches. Coach Gabriel Knowles not happy with that decision. Work to do for the home coach. Rocco Smith trying to hound on Lachlan Campbell. Campbell, Lopez sends it wide, looking for Warfield. And they'll win the throw, UNSW. Almost 18-yard box high. Grant Lynch. Shape to go inside. Played Vinci with a bit of width. Nice turn from Woods. Now Jyden Harb gets involved. Good defending. Costa coming hard at the challenge. UNSW. Vinci. Couldn't quite pick out Waldfield, and off goes Casella. Smith. Teeing up Casella again. It's a good run made by the forward. Brings it down Casella. Asking for a handball. Referee happy with the contest. Campbell under pressure. And a free kick one. By St George FC. Lachlan Campbell. Hasn't been a happy day for him. Already in the book for a yellow card, so he's got to be careful. So a free kick just outside the 18-yard box. Casella and Poon standing over it. The left foot of Casella and the right boot of Poon. You think they might think of Evan Sudis as an option given his shot earlier. And it is Poon, goes direct. Does it trickle in? The second time around it did, if it needed it at all. And another goal for St George FC. They make it 3-0. Pinpoint free kick. Wasn't dealt with by Prendergast. And whether across the line or it got rocketed over, they all count the same. 3-0. St George FC leading with 3, picking up where they left off in the first half. It's been quite a performance already. Sometimes there's just those games during a season that can set you back on track. Throw to come for Uni. So we mentioned UNSW women play tomorrow away at Wanderers Football Park, 5 p.m. Catch that on NPL New South Wales Facebook. Ball drilled low, cleared away. Around the ground, no score between the Wanderers and St George City. But 3 goals here at the Village Green. St George Saints 3, UNSW FC 0. Later today, Northwest Sydney Spirit take on Sydney Olympic, followed by Sutherland and Blacktown, an old rivalry. And we finish with Wollongong taking on Apia. So teams jostling for position in the race to the finals. Free kick for St George FC. That's a poor free kick. Falls at the path of Jyden Harb. Plays Woods wide. Good sliding tackle from Rodic. He was instrumental. May have been the last man who knocked it over the line for the 3rd goal. Call on the experience of someone like Mark Rodic. Has A-League experience, as do a number of these players. Grant Lynch tries to pick out Woods. And Mark Rodic gets the goal kick. Last touch off UNSW, says the referee. Around the grounds, we finally have a goal over at Blacktown Football Park. It's the visitors, St George City. 1-0, they lead the Wanderers on 65 minutes. Of course, they started, originally scheduled to start at the same time. We had a 10-minute delay just before the start of this game. So that game will conclude before we go off air here. Campbell. Knocks it out of play as the lights have been turned on. Here at the Village Green, the sun on its way to setting, and it is overcast. Harb plays Lopez over the top. Flag stayed down. Lopez tried to square it up. Soris. Milovinci. Good defending from Smith. That ball shielded to be picked up by Nicolas Soras. Lynch wins the header. Can't put it back inside. Poon bends the ball into the middle, but easy taking for Prendergast. So if both results end this way, if UNSW do end up going down and St George City are able to win over at the Wanderers, St George City will jump to UNSW. University still have a really good chance to join Sydney FC and put pressure on that top six. Those teams in the middle of the pack starting to play each other. One more goal here for St George FC and it'll be just about lights out, if it isn't so already. Calogero. Right. Cito joins in. Soris almost got himself in a bit of trouble. Cito. Costa. One out by Wood. Vinci has time. Man on though. Poon's chasing. Harb plays it on looking for Woods. Good defending by Cito. Able to knock it out of play. Be a throw for the visitors. Throw for the home side, should I say. Malfara. Nice delivery in off the chest of Woods. Rodic finds Smith who goes to grounds. Lopez, it's opened up here for Woods at the byline. Decides to distribute, but it was already behind. A corner to come. Connor Quilligan. It's a long journey back, but it starts with a goal. Can it be here? Quilligan delivers. Bending away off the head of Rodic. Vinci was sizing it up, wanted to volley. Ended up finding Harb instead. Stepping over. We've seen this before from Jyden Harb. A nice delivery into the middle. Header in a dangerous position. And it's eventually Lopez who gets the final head on it. Always said it's a long road back, but it starts with a goal, and there it is, 3-1, just shy of the hour mark. They didn't deal with the threat enough, St George FC, and the home side's finally on the board. The home crowd up and about. Can this spark something? Quilligan. Lopez, the goal scorer. Now we know St George FC haven't won for a while, all the way back in mid-March. So be interesting to see how they close out this game. If they can. Do they have the composure? UNSW have won. They could just so quickly get a second as they venture forward here for Emilio Vinci. Campbell. Now Malfara. Knocking it around UNSW. St George FC sitting deep. Lynch thought about maybe having a crack. But that shut down quickly. Poon. Smith, nice touch. Wanted Costa. Now Farah couldn't find the pass he was looking for. Dangerous ball looking for Woods. Knocks it back into Harb. Dryden Harb. Deflection. Still with him now at the byline. But just a little bit too heavy. We pass the hour mark. 1/3 to go. 3-1. Solis knocked down after he cleared. Prendergast. Long and strong. Rodic. Getting in front for his side. Woods knocks it forward looking for Harb. Be a throw for UNSW, so all the possession and territory with the home side. Tell you what, if they can get a goal here, to set up a grandstand finish. Wood. Offside. We're going to the substitutions bench. Looks like it'll be a double change. Rafael Costa and Rocco Smith making way. And onto the field. Chris McStay. That's a big play. And also Harrison Farrow for St George FC. Double change. What does that change for them? Poon. Calogero overlapping. It's a decent ball in. Ball's at the feet of Poon again. Calogero bent it towards McStay. Ended up finding Casella instead. Chris McStay, we know how dangerous he is. Threats in and around the box. Casella at the corner flag. Be a throw for the visitors. McStay dancing through, still going. Jaden Cito. That shot blocked. Suris. Calogero has a good look. Fires from range. And over the top, couldn't emulate Evangelos Suris in the first half. Nice interchange of passing in midfield. Here they come. Once more, UNSW. Heading forward. Ball played, but a little bit too strong with the touch. Be a goal kick. (3-1), a 2-goal advantage. (26 minutes to play and a little bit more. Soras long. And Poon couldn't recover it. Campbell finds some space. Handball. Chris McStay providing a few shenanigans. Chris McStay. The son of Celtic legend Paul McStay. Grant Lynch. Bends the ball, wanted to find Woods. Killing for a handball in the box, but wasn't provided. Jaden Cito had to do a lot of work and around that side. So here come the substitutes for UNSW. They've brought in the heavy artillery to try and get this one home. Oliver Pufflet looking like one of those. Will come into the game. Vinci, Wood. Making way, as is Lopez. Oliver Pufflet straight up front. Alongside Jack Fulton. He's coming on as well. And Kimishima. Throw to come for UNSW. Lynch over halfway. Where he's been so often as they try and break down St George FC. Kamikura. Third player as part of that triple substitution. Under pressure being forced backwards as he's dropped a little bit deeper with the arrival of Oliver Pufflet. Here is Jack Fulton. Floats the ball high. Contest and one out by the goalkeeper, Soras. Sean Woods has tried his heart out today. The front of the line for University. Mark Rodic shooting this one. That could have been very dangerous. Able to keep it from going behind. It'll be a throw. They can't lose their head now, St George FC. UNSW's coming. Pufflet leaves it. Quilligan. That ricocheted. Malfara is where the ball ends up. But he's dispossessed. Harrison Farrow is out there for substitution. Venturing forward. Casella plays Farrow once more. Now McStay. They venture forward. Nice ball in over the head of Casella. Still there for St George FC. Harbs now dropped back to clean it up. Calogero with the throw. Farrow has been busy since coming on. And that wasn't what was required. It's been a goal apiece since halftime. 2-0 the halftime score. Jack Fulton sandwiched between Wrights. He's gone down, touching his back. UNSW are in here. Woods looking up. wants troops to arrive. Malfara, first time touch, Fulton! Pushed away by Soras. His substitutions looking to change the game. And now offside Farrow, but Wright has been in a spot of bother for about a minute now. Physio's finally come on. Was in that contest between two UNSW players as they went up for a header. Around the grounds, Western Sydney Wanderers 1, St George City 1, an equaliser on 81 minutes for the Wanderers. The action doesn't finish. Once we're done here, 5:30. Northwest Sydney Spirits taking on Sydney Olympic. Sutherland then taking on Blacktown City. And we finish with Wollongong taking on Apia. Tomorrow, just the one game. Rockdale taking on the SD Raiders at the Illidan Sports Centre. Wright making his way to the touchline. And allowed to come back on now. O'Shea or Shields at this time. Next weekend, UNSW have a trip to Marconi, one of the toughest trips in the NPL. Of course, Marconi drawing last night, which means if Apia win today against Wollongong, as Woods in on goal, coming towards the keeper. Good defending to keep him out. Wright, who's moving a lot more freely now. Malfara trying to swoop on that one, but goes behind. It'll be a goal kick. So UNSW, their next three, Marconi away, Sutherland at home, and then Sydney FC at home. So we'll be back at the Village Green in a few weeks' time for UNSW taking on the Sutherland Sharks. But for next week, an away trip against the Marconi Stallions. For St George FC, they will head to Manly. So both these teams on the road next weekend. Manly United away. It's always tough on a Friday night. Both players unable to keep the ball in. Kamikura, the throw on Pufflet. Harb springs into action. Woods blocks that pass of Cito. And a throw for the visitors. St George FC away to Manly, then at home against Sydney Olympic, and away against Marconi. So they're not shielded from that Stallions trip either. A few weeks. St George FC, there's still more travelling to do for the Banksia-based side in Sydney South. Campbell off the chest of Fulton. He's been good since he's come on. Warfield delivers a nice ball, chested by Pufflets. Feed away by St George FC. Ref spotted a free kick to go the way of UNSW. And a yellow card for Chris McStay. Referee Shakespeare didn't like what was being discussed. Lynch along the carpet. Pufflets tried to get it back from Fulton. Farrow, leading goal scorer for St George FC with 3 goals. Casella has the same number. 8 goals this season for Jyden Harb for UNSW. They'll be looking to him. See if he can reduce the margin. Just over 15 minutes to play. Fulton threaded the needle. Harb wasn't sure if that one was for him. So George FC happy to sit deep and then wait for the counter through Harrison Farrow. McStay headers it out of play. That almost joined us up here in the commentary position. Chris McStay spent time at the Wollongong Wolves. Also played for the Sutherland Sharks and Rockdale. St George FC know if they can get one more, that's game done. But if UNSW can get it through Pufflets, who's playing full 10, the shot blocked before it can venture forward. Quilligan, Warfield knocks it behind for a goal kick. Much of the damage done in the first half. 2 early goals for Rocco Smith and then Evan Suris. The second half, a goal which Mark Rodic was claiming. It's a free kick from Justin Poon, and Rodic belted it home. But they managed to jag one back. UNSW off the head of Kevin Lopez. Free kick going the way of the home side. Rubber the green on the village green. Grant Lynch looking up, playing hard, first time pass, chested down, Fulton sets it off the left, safely into the clutches of Soras. It's been up to the task today, no clean sheet though, he's conceded a goal, but some clutch efforts in the first half. They've had plenty of defending to do in this second half, St George FC, so if it's going to be their first win in 12 games, they're going to have to earn it. Fulton, the chest of Harb, cutting inside, Jayden Harb, trying to get beyond his man. Bood, intercepted by Malfara. Quilligan, spots the run being made. Another shot ricochet, just bodies getting in front. That's the name of the game for St George FC. That ball will trickle out, will it? No, kept in. That's great work by St George FC. Campbell intercepting the ball before it gets to Farrow. Pufflet back to his feet. "13 minutes remaining, 3-1. Both these teams wanting to get into the winner's circle. It's been a long time for UNSW. It's St George FC. Quilligan was dropped into the middle of that back three. No more Liam Wood. He was substituted. Campbell plays wide. Warfield. Good cross in. Headed away by Calagero. Still alive for Quilligan. Warfield sliding in. And here comes St George FC in transition. Casella down the touchline. Looking up, spotting some runs made. McStay. Casella a couple of years ago was the foil for Alek Gurushevsky at Rockdale. Wanted to come and carve his own path. Bood. Calagero. Suris. Back heel from McStay. Farrow wasn't expecting it. Long ball forward. Knotted down. Fulton into the path of Pufflets. That left foot shot. Still alive for Pufflets. Puts it on target, but taken safely and stopped by Soras. very hard to find a best on ground for St George FC. They've all been quite good. Might just be Soudis for that goal early in the game, top of the locker. But Soudis, a goal against, will probably go against him. Malfara. Ball played wide. They're queuing up again. UNSW. Header on target, pushed away. And cleared by Calagero. They can feel that next goal coming. They just need to put it in the back of the nets. Another substitution. St George FC this time. 10 minutes from time. Anthony Barbic of UNSW also getting his number called. Pat O'Shea coming off. And we play on Lynch. That cross deflected. In a dangerous position. They'll get another throw. UNSW. Quilligan. There'll be a corner to come. Everybody in the middle. Only the goalkeeper on the opposition side of halfway. They need this now, UNSW. Bent in and headed away. Harb. Finds Quilligan. Delivers a neat ball in. Headed away momentarily. Woods. Now Farah had a chance. And that's a rash challenge. Yellow card. Into a red. So that's Sean Woods' afternoon done. A second yellow card for the striker. Just a little late to the challenge. Rash enough for referee Shakespeare. And now UNSW will be down to 10 men. Just as I was trying to make a comeback. It's going to make the task all the more difficult. Only the 8 more minutes to negotiate, but it's those 2 goals. They're behind. Does this change the mind of the substitution for UNSW? It looks like it's going to be Connor Quilligan. I was just speaking of a coach for some advice. Warfield is the man who makes way. So they're playing with an extra man, St George FC. But defence feels like it'll be the order of the day for them. They feel like they've got enough goals. We'll make sure there's no last flurry from the home side. Kamikura. Harb bends it in, looking for Pufflet. Over his head. Task doesn't get any easier for UNSW next weekend, taking on the Marconi Stallions. Harrison Farrow chasing this ball down. Lynch kills the ball into the path of Pufflets. Malfara. Lynch once more. Kamikura drives it in low. Lynch can't quite keep it in. They're almost there. St George FC, just over 5 minutes of normal time remaining. The referee starting to sense that. He wants St George FC to get a move on. Quilligan. Harb, he's very quick. Done well in that situation. Jyden Harb, a corner again. Back into the box go UNSW. Still time to jag something from this game. They need a score now. Jyden Harb, near post. Quilligan, good use of his body. Holding it up, the former St George FC player. Another one dinked towards Campbell. Malfara in traffic. Alex Malfara, first time cross, trying to chip the keeper. Doesn't quite produce the goods on that occasion. We said if this goes the way it's looking, it'll be their first win since round 6. St George FC, middle of March, it's now the middle of June. They've lost a manager in that time. Big sigh of relief if they can get it done. Push away from that relegation zone. Of course, Blacktown City to play Sutherland later tonight. And Sydney Olympic playing later too. Kamikura couldn't get on the end of that ball. Around the ground, it's full time over at Wanderers Football Park. Western Sydney Wanderers 1, St George City 1. So that works in UNSW's favour. They sit in 9th. University would have been jumped had St George City won that game, but it's St George FC. And flag goes up for Casella. Offside. Very tight now. UNSW 4 points outside 6th position, currently held by Sutherland. If Sutherland do win, that will extend to 8th. The horns in the background. St George FC fans liking what they see. Quite a few have travelled. The story of the afternoon just can't quite get that execution right. Had plenty of good looks. Been given the lion's share of possession in the second half to try and make something of it. Quilligan headers it behind. And for UNSW, unfortunately, their home streak will come to an end. 9 games undefeated here. 5 wins, 4 draws. This will be the one blemish on their record if they are to go down. They're not going down without a fight. But St George FC numbered up really well today. Be the first win for Coach Brian, the Bomber Brown. charge of St George FC. Stints at Bonnering White Eagles, Hills United, 6-time Coach of the Year, the mid-2000s. Free kick won again by St George FC. I'll take confidence into next week, taking on fellow strugglers Manly United. Had a draw against City United 58, but they too are not too far from safety, other men from Manly. They sit 1 point behind, so they can make some really good ground. St George FC, if they're able to win next weekend. Five minutes of injury time to come. They can almost taste it, St George FC. Tuyuka knocks that ball into touch. Dryden Harb. Campbell is cross-blocked. Quilligan does the same. This one's more dangerous. Pufflet dispossessed. But they'll go again through Barbich. Now Farah, that's a free kick for UNSW. There's some urgency about their work now. Harb again catches the back of a St George FC player. The keeper's the last man. And now the referee stops play. Casella down. Behind the play. This will soak up more minutes of injury time. Referee using this as an opportunity to chat to some of the players. St George FC, this will be win number 6 of the year. 13 games between win number 5 and win number 6 this season. Improve their record to 19 points. Trying to stave off a threat of relegation. Sydney Olympic and Blacktown City currently sitting in those spots. St George FC play Sydney Olympic in a couple of weeks' time. That'll be at home at Barton Park, a local derby. Substitution is the call. George FC, well, they have them. And it is Casella making way. Taking his time, Casella, making his way from the ground. Temperature continues to dip here at the Village Green. Prendergast has a full box to aim at. Finds a head of Campbell. To Yuka. Knocks it out of play. Players all back in the box again. Looks like the long throw. What, the corner flag, in fact. Quilligan drives it off the head of Campbell. And behind it goes a goal kick. Don't know how many more opportunities UNSW will get. They trail 3-1. Their home records about to become no more. Sawdust. Quilligan wins the header. Lynch off bodies. Right. Sends it towards Mazaffa. Ball's one out by St George FC in midfield. Jack Fulton getting back to his feet. Referee just checking on him. And a yellow card for Fulton. Some frustrated figures out there for University. The referee Shakespeare doing his own drop ball. Prendergast. His long ball blocked momentarily. No goalkeeper at home. Chris McStay, as Prendergast runs back, they're taking their time with it. St George FC, McStay off the left, buries it in the bottom corner. That breaks the drought. 13 games in a row, no win until now for St George FC. Chris McStay delivers the goods. 4-1, and the visitors, that sweet taste of victory on their lips now. That's number 4, 2 goals each half for St George FC. Lynch. So next weekend, UNSW away to Marconi. Long ball wide for Kamakura. And cleared away by St George FC. St George take on Manly away from home next weekend. They'll be buoyed by this victory. Dryden Harb to the byline, loops the ball, but taken safely by Soras. How many times have we seen that today? And that's the final whistle. How sweet it is. After 12 losses in a row, St George FC finally have a win. At full time, St George FC 4 have defeated UNSW FC 1. Unfortunately, that's the end of the undefeated home record for UNSW. They'll lick their wounds and head for a tough trip to Marconi next weekend. St George FC will bounce into their away game against Manly United, where they can continue their push to avoid relegation for season 2026. I'm Tony Solano. I hope you've enjoyed our coverage this afternoon on the NPL New South Wales YouTube channel. It's St George FC who are the winners today. More games to come on the NPL New South Wales YouTube channel. Sutherland and Blacktown a little bit later. Sydney Olympic taking on Northwest Sydney Spirit. And closing out today is Wollongong taking on Apia in a top 4 clash. Thank you very much for your company. It's bye for now.